Welcome to the Finance Shark. Today we're covering one of the most powerful vehicles for building lasting wealth, real estate. But we're not just talking about appreciation and cash flow. We're talking about how real estate becomes the foundation of a generational legacy, a way to set up your children and their children with freedom, opportunity, and choices most people will never have. We'll go deep on tax advantages like the stepped-up basis, how real estate creates long-term tax-efficient cash flow, and why I believe owning real estate is the best way to make sure my kids never have to work for a corporate chain if they don't want to. Let's get started. First, why real estate builds wealth better than anything else. Let's start with a simple truth. Real estate outperforms most asset classes over time, not just in returns, but in control and transferability. With real estate, you get monthly income through rent, equity growth as tenants pay down your mortgage, appreciation over time, leverage to expand without using all your own money, and legal tax shelters that preserve your wealth. It's a multi-dimensional asset. You don't get that with stocks, you don't get that with bonds, you don't even get that with a business unless you're heavily involved. Real estate is a hybrid of cash flow plus capital gains plus legacy potential. And that's why wealthy families use it to stay wealthy. Next, let's discuss the legacy factor, freedom for the next generation of your family. For me, this is personal. I'm not buying properties just to collect rent checks. I'm doing this so my children, and eventually their children, have options. Options to live where they want, work how they want, pursue passions, not just paychecks. When you build a portfolio of income-producing real estate, you're building a permanent financial foundation. Your kids don't need to start from zero. They inherit property, equity, monthly cash flow, tax-efficient wealth that gives them freedom. Not just financial freedom, but freedom of time, freedom of thought, and freedom of choice. This investment provides cash flow that outlives you. The rent from one small home might be $1,000 a month. Multiply that by 10 properties and that's $10,000 a month in income for life. Now imagine that income continuing long after you're gone. That's the power of legacy cash flow. It pays for college tuition, health care, starting a business, helping other family members, investing in more real estate. Unlike a 401k or a pension that stops when you stop working, real estate keeps producing income for your heirs indefinitely. It's important to understand what the stepped-up basis is and avoiding capital gains tax. Here's one of the most powerful legal tax advantages in real estate: the stepped-up cost basis. When you pass down a property to your heirs, they inherit it at its current market value. So if you bought a duplex for $150,000 and it's worth $500,000 when you die, your kids won't pay tax on that $350,000 of appreciation. They get a fresh tax basis. If they sell immediately, they only owe capital gains on any appreciation after they inherit it. And if they keep it, they get the rent with no tax consequence at all. This is one of the cleanest, most powerful tools for wealth transfer in the U.S. tax code. Here's a way to think about the impact to your family. Start raising builders, not just earners. Real estate is more than an asset. It's a teaching tool. You can involve your kids early, show them how. Rent works, expenses get managed, tenants are screened, cash flow is calculated. You're teaching them leadership, financial literacy, business systems, ownership mindset. By the time they turn 18, they're equipped with real-world financial skills and a portfolio to manage. That's how we break the cycle of debt, struggle, and working jobs we don't love. If you're interested, it's important to understand legal structures for generational control. To pass wealth efficiently, you need structure. That includes setting up LLCs for asset protection, creating living trusts to avoid probate, assigning property managers or family members to handle operations, writing a will that includes a real estate succession plan. Without a plan, your family may fight. With a plan, your family builds forward. Create a family operating agreement. Make sure your heirs are involved now, not just later. Real estate is a teachable asset. Unlike many investments, real estate is visible, physical, and practical. Your kids can walk the property, see repairs in action, meet tenants, understand how value is created. It makes wealth real. This builds confidence and curiosity. It removes the mystery from money. And over time, your kids start to understand what it means to build wealth, not just inherit it. Real estate investing also allows for creating jobs within the family. Your real estate portfolio can also create jobs. One child handles accounting, another manages tenant communication, a third runs maintenance or works with contractors. You now have a family business, not just a side hustle. This means your kids can learn valuable work experience, avoid low-paying jobs, build pride and purpose, contribute to something that benefits the entire family. This is how you replace jobs at fast food chains or call centers with ownership and responsibility. One of the beautiful things about this asset class, it allows using leverage to expand. You don't need to pay cash for everything. With real estate, you can use a mortgage to cover 75–80% of the purchase price, collect rent to pay the mortgage, gain equity and appreciation over time. This allows you to scale faster without needing to save up hundreds of thousands of dollars. And when your properties increase in value, you can use HELOCs or cash-out refis to invest in more. This is how generational portfolios grow, without constantly pulling from savings. Real estate, when done correctly, beats most traditional retirement plans. Compare this to traditional retirement plans. A 401k depends on stock market performance. Pensions are disappearing. IRAs are capped in contributions. Real estate has no cap. It grows in multiple ways, and it creates cash flow you can use today, not just after age 65. And unlike market corrections or layoffs, real estate offers predictability and control. It's important to see the long-term view, how one property becomes 10 properties. Start small, one property, then reinvest the cash flow. Use appreciation and equity to finance more. Over 10 to 15 years, that turns into a sizable portfolio. By year 20, your family owns multiple paid-off properties, generating income every month. And it all starts with one smart decision, made today for the benefit of tomorrow. Why this strategy matters now more than ever. The job market is uncertain. College costs are rising. The middle class is shrinking. But real estate is stable, profitable, and transferable. You have the power to create a family-owned opportunity machine that lasts far beyond your lifetime. To build generational wealth through real estate, start with one property. Focus on cash flow and long-term financing. Teach your kids as you go. Use tax advantages to protect and grow your returns. Set up legal structures for legacy planning. And most importantly, never build wealth alone. Build it with your family. If this video helped you, subscribe to the Finance Shark for more deep dives on real estate, wealth building, and legacy creation. Please comment below with your thoughts. Thank you for watching.